I have a mental illness, and it's called Strinova. Every morning I wake up and play this game. Ever since they gave me an account to access the game servers to make this sponsored video, I have done nothing but play this silly little anime third-person shooter game. I eat, sleep, and breathe Strinova, and this one twin-tailed cat girl specifically. You might be wondering, why, Brax? Why has your 6'4" unmedicated neurodivergent ADHD head hyperfixated on this game? For the past few years, the only things I've played are PvE gacha games. They're the only anime games that I can find that aren't one-shots you finish in 14 hours. And while we're all in the waiting room for something with actual replayability, Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, and Wuthering Waves have been all I've had to hold me over. That and Final Fantasy XIV Online, which has a free trial with no restrictions on playtime, by the way. Oh, right. Strinova is a free-to-play 3D second-dimensional tactical shooting game with cute anime girls. And as we've discussed before on this channel, only one thing can happen when you give anime girls guns, and that's peak. The TLDR is that the old world's catastrophe forced humanity to switch realms, and that basically gave them the power to turn into paper. There's actually some insane lore behind the game that I would love to tell you all about if there wasn't a skip button. But unlike the other two anime games with guns that exist, Strinova is a PvP-focused game, which means that you can now officially say I've played Genshin Impact for 4 years now, and while they've just added guns when we got to France, they never added a PvP shooter game mode like that one Lumine short. Being someone that grew up playing the world's most terrible game, and subjected many of my friends to the universe's most terrible game, I'm basically a connoisseur of shooter games. That's how I know that this game is a goldmine. That and the skins are good enough to make the strongest free-to-play players swipe. Believe me, I tried. But this is a test server, and they've locked my wallet in the dungeon. Speaking of dungeon, here's all the anime girls I've collected. Michelle Lee, otherwise known as God's gift to mankind, is a cat girl with an assault rifle and a laser turret that sticks to walls called a paw-tector. She's horrendous to play against and really fun to look at, especially in the selection screen where she does a cute little dance. I love her so much. Ming is mechanic coded, and the code is midriff. She uses an AR and is a member of the Scissors, which is information that will probably come back in a future joke in this video. This just in. Ruan Mei found in an alternate universe with an SMG and stealth abilities, as well as a giant bear? Celestia is both a support for your team and for your slowly declining mental health. She regenerates your teammate's armor with her skill and grants even more armor to a teammate and teleports to them with her ultimate. But her best supporting ability is her ability to obliterate the entire enemy team with her regular gun that does regular, not support damage. I really like Audrey, is what I would say if I hated myself and other people equally. Her design is cute, but as soon as you get in game and set down your turret, you're not only a menace to society, you're a menace to yourself. She's for the fans of Violet Evergarden, Jean, Saber, Durandal, Sailor Venus, Ellie Ayase, Lucy Heartfilia, and every other vanilla character. And also for the fans of people who don't usually play FPS games online. Raiden Mei has made her cameo in Strinova, but she stole Cloran's lower half. I play Flavia for the plot, and likely back problems. Lavina is an initiator, focusing on stealth and recon, and also a member of the Scissors, making her and Ming Scissor Sisters. There's tons of characters like Sinon, Tala Ram, Fine I'll Do It Myself, Hershra Flame Scion, and more. And the one thing that ties them all together? The American spirit. When they're all together, they're absolutely adorable. That's why my favorite screen is the character select screen that looks suspiciously like each character has a different primary weapon and a set of secondary weapons to choose from, all of which can be modified in-game using points that you gain over time and after defeating other players. In fact, each game has the ability to play out differently based on the path that you build. Some characters increase fire rate or damage dealt, and you'll choose which buff you want based on how manic you are. For example, I always try to pick fire rate and movement speed like a deranged 14-year-old on Adderall. You have ADS speed, spread control, and recoil control all in the same category. Unless you're playing a sniper, ADS speed is a scam. Most people aren't aiming down sights in this game anyways because they're too busy looking from the optimal angle. For those of you playing at medium range, recoil control is an absolutely goated pickup. The better you are at aiming, the less bullets it takes to get a kill, and if you get a kill, you're not dying, and if you're not dying, you can't lose. The lesson? Stop having skill issue. When you're picking between fire rate and base damage, it's time to do advanced mathematics. Each superstring has 100 base HP. On top of that, every superstring by default has 40 shield, giving them an effective HP of 140. This means that a character that does 25 damage per shot to the chest will defeat an enemy in 6 shots. However, if the base damage would increase the damage to 28 per body shot, it would lower the shots to kill from 6 down to 5 in the chest, making base damage the better pick. But what if you actually hit 1 headshot instead of just 6 chest shots? What if you hit 2 headshots? What if you took the headshot multiplier? What if the enemy has damage reduction? What if they have Stringify? What if they took the light regen shield? What if they took the heavy shield? I have the answer. Good luck with all that. Depending on the situation you're in, you may choose different characters to handle things. If the situation is, we're losing, you might switch to Flavia and obliterate everything. If the situation is, I'm horrendously single, it's time to play support. Each super string, which is what characters are called by the way, has different feels to their playstyle, but it doesn't really matter since you're all just gonna play the same character anyways. Unless you're specifically not playing Scrimmage, where you'll be locked out of playing a Reshkigal on attack. Scrimmage is your team deathmatch style game mode with multiple teams, whereas Escort is an objective pushing game mode, and Ranked is similar to Search and Destroy from COD or a regular match in Valorant. The characters' factions in this game affect who's playable on what map, so one-tricking in this game will simply not work unless you're him. Don't worry though, Strinova's character designs are fun and unique enough to where you'll want to learn multiple characters anyways, especially since each character's weapon is different. And once again, they also have skins, meaning that you can just pretend that Celestia and Konami are the same character. Strinova is unique in its gameplay and character designs, but the mechanics of Strinova are what make it stand out. Because unlike in other shooter games, when you're in bullet fire, you can simply become 2D. This is likely because Strinova wanted to remind us that our waifus aren't real. With so many 3D anime games releasing lately, some of us may have forgotten. If you thought Valorant e-dating was bad, at least over in Strinova, people are delusional enough to stay single. When you're in paper form, you can actually traverse the world differently. Not only are you able to dodge bullets, but you can also stick to walls and climb them or glide down from high places. Basically, what I'm telling you is that Strinova has unique movement and that you should go socialize with a real human being. The unique movement mechanics are fully utilized on various maps with tons of verticality, so that you can truly experience every angle of every character. The only other way to look a character head on in this game is to keep spinning your camera until it finally lets you have the full range of motion. And even then, the characters won't actually make eye contact with you because they know exactly what your search history looks like. Overall though, Strinova has been an insane time sink for me. Not because I have to, but because I'm addicted to it and I really want to. When I want to play something quick, I can queue up for their team deathmatch game mode where I can play any of the amazing cast of characters they have, each with different playstyles. And when I want to play things with friends, I can play more strategic game modes, assuming I ever have friends. Strinova reminds me of my favorite days coming home from class in high school and college and hopping on Overwatch or other competitive games. And it honestly reignited a flame in me for competition that I thought I had lost years ago. The biggest downside of Strinova is that I can only play it on a test server as of making this video. The second biggest is Ming. Yeah! Strinova isn't officially released yet, but the closed beta test is available on PC using the link in the description, and if you download it, then you can make my ranked queues faster on my journey to #1 Catgirl main. Please queue up, I am begging, I want to play ranked so bad. Oh, and also the game is fun. Every anime girl is legally allowed to own a gun.